Hello, my name is Kenna Uzowihan and I'm a member of Team Firecracker. This is our progress report for the BMI Labor Tracker app, which is a web-based application used for tracking women in labor to make sure that they're dilating at a rate that is normal. Team Firecracker consists of 4 different members. For our project, we decided to divide the workload based on use cases and the task at hand. So I, Kenna, am responsible for creating and searching patients. Shuzi Shen is responsible for putting together our login system. Calvin Yu is responsible for putting together our menus and retrieving data of the patient history. And Lei Zhu is responsible for putting together our tracker partograph views. So as stated in our previous presentations, we are sticking to the model view controller software design pattern. This allows us to separate our code logically and makes it more reusable and maintainable in the future. We previously decided on using PHP Storm as our developmental environment, but now we've decided to use Cake PHP because of its compatibility with the MVC framework. If you look at the diagram at the bottom right, it shows us how the MVC request works, which is the client makes a request to the dispatcher and is then processed by the controller. The controller then uses the model to make sense of the data in the database. The controller then sends that data over to the view, which is then presented to the client. Originally, our tracker partograph was made to plot the number of centimeters dilated by the patient over time. Although that hasn't changed, a new requirement states that if the initial reading of the patient is 5 centimeters or higher, then we will start them at the dystocia line like you see at the graph at the bottom right. This is our way of playing it safe and allows the provider to tell if the progress of labor is moving slower than usual sooner than later, and they can make decisions accordingly. Let's now look at some of the UIs that we've put together for our web application. Here you can see our login and registration system. Every user is required to have both the username and password enabled to log into our system and view information. In order to register, the only difference here is the provider will need to provide us with a certificate number and the patient will need to provide us with a patient account number enabled to register for system. Now once you log into the system successfully, you will be provided with a menu depending on the kind of user you are. As required, patients are only able to view their information, but the provider has a few more functionalities available to them. They are able to find the current patient, create new patients, and load patient history. Once you log in as the provider, you'll be able to select a patient and view their current progress like the graph you see here. On top of that, as the provider, you could enter the new measurements of the cervix dilation and the current time. This will then update the graph in real time, and then the provider can make decisions accordingly if they see that the progress is moving slow. Once you log in as the patient, you can see the exact same graph that the provider sees, and it's updated in real time. The only difference here is that you can't make any modifications, and you can only read what's going on as the requirement states. As currently constructed, our database consists of 5 different tables. These tables are patients, patient admissions, patient labors, providers, and users, which stores the username and passwords for our patients and providers. Now, as we get deeper into implementation, we may discover new information that we need to store here, but this is what we have as of now. Now, based on our Gantt chart, it seems that we are neither ahead nor behind schedule. We are right on time. Our login feature is complete. We've set up our backend database, and now we're in the middle of creating and implementing our other UIs. After that, we'll be implementing the printing out of results in PDFs, and then we can move into our testing phase. Well, this is the progress we've made as a team, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.